Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. Man, it is early here in Maine. I guess it's early everywhere on the East Coast. Um, Today's Sunday, and I do my Clearing the Bases episode where I cover all the topics that I found interesting in the past week that either didn't rise to the level of their own video or I didn't have time. So I'm going to cover them all here. In fact, a big part of this, maybe a third to a half of this, is about the star Jordan. We are going to get deep into this. And first of all, I want to preface this. Last week, I talked about Geoff Wilson, and I put Geoff Wilson in the thumbnail and in the title, and because I had forgotten how toxic that can be when you do that, because you get a lot of Geoff Wilson acolytes jumping into the comments, not watching the video, and just screaming at you about how much they love Geoff Wilson, and you should too. Um, I did have a couple people asked me a good question. I said, I appreciate what Geoff Wilson has done for the hobby. And they said, name one thing. And I had said it right after, but I guess it wasn't clear that those statements were tied together. In the last like 18 to 24 months, Jeff has interviewed a lot of collectors, like legit collectors, and talked more about collecting rather than investing. And to me, that is a net positive. I don't know if net is the right place there for that word. It is a positive that he is um, talking about collecting and showing amazing collections. So that is what I meant by Jeff has done some good things for the hobby. Uh, we're going to jump into this today. I am not putting Jeff in the thumbnail. I'm not putting him in the title. It is going to be about the star card, and so people are going to come and watch. But I also have some videos I'm going to point to that you should go to that really tell this story better than I am. I'm just kind of piecing together a bunch of different things here. And yeah, let's jump in. First of all, this video is sponsored by The Penny Sleever. Go to thepennysleever.com and you can get what I think are the best card supplies in the industry. 100 sleeves for $1.99, 200 top loaders for 23 bucks. Semi-rigids, these are the best. I use these like crazy, these semi-rigids, which in my opinion are the best. You can use my code JWH at checkout on your first order for 10% off. You also get free shipping on orders to $49 and up. Link is in the description to this video. All right, before I jump into the star thing, I'm going to do a video on this. I had so many things in my saved list this week that I have to throw this into its own video because there are, I don't know, 10 different things related to this, and it's a really interesting piece. This is, in all likelihood, a fake, and there have been some attempts to get eBay to recognize it as a fake. I'll do a video on it coming up soon. Make sure you're subscribed here. All right, so we have a Michael Jordan star card. This is card 101, what many are now believing to be his rookie after decades of thinking the 86 Fleer. And there are some accusations of pump and dump and blah blah blah. And I'm not going to jump in on the accusations of pump and dump, but uh, just in the past year or two, ever since PSA started grading this, have people said, "Well, this is the true rookie card." And this one here sold for at least $1 million. The seller confirms that it was a seven-figure sale. I guess David Zenzel, which I think is the person who sold Jeff his 8 for $100,000 2 years ago. So we have a big sale now, increasing the previous sale of a PSA 9 from $925,000 to at least $1 million. And then we have this BGS altered, and both of these articles come from Collect. BGS altered to PSA 7. This is a really good story. I'll link it in the description. No, I'll link it in my newsletter. Go to junkwaxhero.com, sign up for my newsletter. I'll link this in my newsletter. I have already too many things in my description to this video. So somebody bought this authentic altered BGS. People were telling him, yeah, this looks legit. This doesn't look altered at all. Look at the front, look at the back. It looks real. Not real, but unaltered. and so he bought it for about $13,000, sent it to PSA, came back a 7 from PSA, and now he turned down I think a $60,000 offer for it. Yeah. So it's really interesting. Like I've heard that Beckett was overgrading the star card. Let me just make sure okay, good. I've heard that they were overgrading the star card years ago, and like an 8 from Beckett might come back a 6 from PSA, and that's honestly to be expected. But then you have these weird examples where Beckett said it was altered, and PSA says, nah. So that's that. And remember, oh, yeah, Auburn 35 grading. Is this some sort of guessing game? The perfect response. Okay. Now we have Dan the Card Man, and I want you to go and watch this video. I will link this in the description. Dan does a great job of breaking down the whole Geoff Wilson situation. And remember last week I covered the fact that Geoff had claimed that because he paid $100,000 for his star card, and then somebody else bought the same card in the same grade for $244,000, that Geoff had made a profit of $144,000, and how ridiculous that claim is. Turns out Geoff didn't even have that card anymore. It turns out he had sold that card, the one he had bought for $100,000, and then he had it in an 8, sold the 8, and then he bought another 8. And Dan, at some point in here, puts them side by side, or maybe, yeah. So this is, of course, it's going to give me an ad. uh, we'll get through the ad. Uh, so this one is Geoff's old one. Here's Geoff's old one with an NBA sticker on it. And here is the new one, no sticker and worse centering. And Geoff says that his new one looks better. Now, it's possible that Dan or I are misunderstanding which is which. I don't think so. So, and he says that he paid the same price for it. So what he claims is he sold the better one and then paid the same amount that he sold that one for this, what I think is a worse one, and Dan agrees, I think. So, Geoff, you can't claim first of all, you can't claim a profit, but you also can't claim unrealized gains. And then here Dan says it perfect. It's pretty laughable, if I'm being honest. Flexing a profit on a card you sold months earlier and then not disclosing what you paid for the one you replaced it with is a little silly. And it was a private transaction. So, yeah, I mean, you've got Geoff claiming a $144,000 profit, something he didn't sell, and he didn't even own it anymore. And then saying, well, it's fine because I paid the same amount, but there's no proof that he did. To make it more confusing, this is I Am Meatballs, excuse me, making another appearance in my Sunday video. To make it more confusing, it appears the current registry owner is not the same person who previously sold him the card. The guy in this video where they discuss the original sale is Dave Zenzel, not John Weiss. Right. This is the same guy who sold the $1 million plus card. So then we have correct, and Geoff sold the exact same card he bought from Dave back to Dave. Dave confirmed that. I don't know. It's just a weird situation here. And then that sale for $244,000 was originally in Card Ladder, and then Card Ladder removed it, saying that it was an unpaid for sale. And then Card Ladder was doing a live stream Friday night into Saturday morning. And apparently at 1 a.m., Ken Golden joined the live stream. And you see, this guy's laughing. This is a video by Simon466 Cards. Great video. Again, I will link this in the description. showing the live stream. He goes through parts of the live stream that Ken joins and talks about it. Really, really good video. And Ken asks them, "Why did you remove my sale, the $244,000 Jordan Star Card sale?" And they said, "We received compelling evidence, I guess, that it wasn't paid for." And Ken says, "Well, how could it be compelling?" And they said, "Because it came from one of his employees, an employee of Golden Auctions." And Ken said he had the wire. He was going to show it to them to show that it was paid, and they agreed and you know finished up. I think they deleted this live stream from Instagram or wherever this was. Yeah, Instagram Live. And then it showed back up on Card Ladder, the $244,000 as a confirmed sale. So apparently, oh, actually, let me go into the comments here because there's something really important. Geoff Wilson commented on this video, and by the way, there are now about 2,000 views, but at the time there were only about 100 views. So Jeff was one of the first 100 viewers of this video, and he commented, "I have a strong hunch the real reason why Card Ladder removed the sale is because they wanted to get back at me for hyping the sale up. I believe they removed the sale and then immediately alerted Cage Lawyer to do an attack video on me based on the sale being removed, which he did and has now deleted. This is not the first time they have done this type of thing multiple times in the past." So, uh, Cage Lawyer, I was not familiar with this person, but apparently does a lot of videos on uh, sports cards on Instagram and doesn't like Jeff. Um, and then, but I found it odd. They wanted to get back at him for hyping the sale up. Now, I know Card Ladder and Sports Card Investor are competitors. Why, why somebody would pay for these services? I don't know. I don't have either of them. Well, I do have Card Ladder, and it's free for if you're a YouTuber, you can get it for free. Uh, but I don't know why he says that they're trying to get back at him for hyping the sale up. By the way, you can get card sales data for free on 130 Point, which is what I use. So get back at me for hyping the sale up. I went and asked Jeff, where is mine? Here it is. "I'm curious why Card Ladder would want to get back at you. Can you help me understand these allegations?" And maybe I should have said accusations. I don't know. No response from Jeff. And he has tweeted since then. So I don't know. Uh, if you know what that means, let me know in comments. Okay. And it's just the comment. And then Auburn 35 again with the card in the news. "Scammers take notice. Watch out for fakes." Yeah, scammers take notice of the fact that the card is in the news. They go and they counterfeit it or buy counterfeit versions of it on Etsy and then put it in counterfeit PSA slabs from Etsy. And then they try to sell it through like Craigslist and things like that, which you can let's see if this is still up. Yeah, $6,500 for this eight. And remember, an eight is worth $244,000 roughly. Yeah, cash only. If taken to the right charity auction, card could fetch as much as $80,000. So if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Beware. And now we're seeing 30 different Star Jordans in the Golden September Elite, including 10 number 101s. The what you mean is what you consider the true rookie. 10 of the true rookie. So this is what people are saying about pump and dump, that the PSA started grading them and then influencers started pumping it, saying this is the true rookie, and they all get involved, and then they all dump it at the same time on unsuspecting viewers who have bought into this. I don't think this is a pump and dump. I think this is mostly people who are trying to take advantage of the pump. Whether that's a pump and dump, I don't know. I'm not. I don't really have an opinion either way. I understand what they're saying. All right, Geoff Wilson also made a $25,000 offer for this card here. This is the one of one Curry James Durant Team USA Tops Now card. Jeff offered $25,000 bounty for it, but the person chose to go with golden instead. We'll see if that was a good move or not. Actually, September Elite, I don't remember if this has started. Current bid $15,000 with 2 weeks remaining. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated. All right, beware. Someone is pulling a scam on eBay. Photo of the real one in comments. Now, this eBay auction has been removed. Credit to eBay for removing this. You can kind of see here how bad that Babe Ruth card looks. It would unlikely get a PSA 1 grade. That looks more like an authentic. If it were authentic, of course, if it would grade authentic. But here's the actual card that's in that slab. And it's much, much nicer, as you can see. So again, this is a likely counterfeit PSA slab, or it's possible that they pulled the card out and then resealed it, putting in a counterfeit worse card. And then, yeah, so this has been removed by eBay. Hopefully, the eBay authentication program would catch it, but we all know how many loopholes that authentication program has. For instance, I have my mailing address is a PO box, and they will not do eBay authentication for buyers who have a PO box. It's crazy. All right, we're off that stuff for a minute. Seinfeld cereal box sells for $2,000 and believed to only sell for 2,000 because they didn't guarantee that it was one that was used on the show. It was just a Seinfeld cereal box that happened to be there. So I'm a huge Seinfeld fan, so I thought that was neat. Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Shota Imanaga are your 2024 Topps Update Series cover athletes. And there's the box. Some people are pretty upset about this. Eric, the Walking Dead saga. There is no reason this should not have been Bobby Witt Jr. The cover choice is terrible, he says. And then this person, William Hodges, update is for rookies and guys in new teams. They got it right. And Eric says, that's not true. 2023 was Trout. 2022 was Max and Alonso. 2021 was Acuna. 2020 was Harper. Uh, so, I mean, I see why he's saying it should be Bobby Witt, but they're also trying to appeal to different audiences around the world. So I see why they would choose these two guys. All right. If you know anything about this, let me know. Alts and Ends, Alton Insights newsletter, which I used to read every single week, was a weekly newsletter, as you can see, every single week for years. Seems to be dead. They haven't put one out for a month now. Last one was August 14th. Let me know. And as always, if you have any comments on any of the topics I've talked about today, throw them in there into the comments on this video. I appreciate it. And I talked recently about, and in my newsletter, about the changing standards of PSA's grades over the decades. Scott Stuber writes, if there were still any doubt whether or not PSA's grading standards have changed over the years, this should now erase them. This was a PSA 3. Let's see. It is not good. This would not be even a 1 in all likelihood, probably an authentic, maybe a 1. Still a great card. I'd be happy to have that card in my collection. Looks attic fresh. All right. A couple weeks ago, I highlighted the SGC 10 Wilt Chamberlain rookie card. A lot of people said that right edge is terrible. How can they give that a 10? Well, that's a rough cut, and as you can see, PSA loves it too. They gave this Gale Sayers rookie card a 9, and it has that rough cut, as a lot of those vintage sets did. So if you don't like it, that's fine. All right, Collectibles Guru asked, are breakers good or bad for the hobby? And then polled They got 649 votes. Only about 1 out of every 5 voters believe that breakers are good for the hobby, which I found interesting. I said, as you can see, neutral. They don't affect my collecting in any way, other than I might buy more ultra modern boxes if there were no breakers because the prices would presumably be down. I just found this interesting. Okay, James Earl Jones passed away, and people jacked up his card prices. So this one was $1,700, and then the day he passed away, or the day after he passed away, the owner priced it up to $2,500. This one was $1,200. Now it's $3,000, just because he passed away. And Lachlan's Cards asks, "Is this despicable behavior or just the hobby?" It's opportunistic for sure. It's you're, people are going to recognize. Oh, people are going to think, "Oh, James Earl Jones, I should go see if they have any cards." And increasing the prices on yours is, I wouldn't call it despicable. It's opportunistic. It's a little gross, but it also is just the hobby. But but it's demand. There's going to be more demand for them, and the supply hasn't changed. So I I don't fault the sellers. Let me know what you think. Then we have Ryan's Cards, who is a big seller of cards and I think rips a lot of product, who has come to the dark side. Tr- truly is there truly a product even worth ripping out there right now? And then he talks about the prices, and yeah, he's right. He's coming to the dark side. There's no product that is worth ripping, in my opinion. And I see this more and more now, where people are shifting away from ripping product. Darren Rovell, in 1990, you could get a Willie Mays 1952 Topps card in mint condition for $2,000. 34 years later, this is what a $2,000 copy looks like. PSA 1. That is my kind of card. I would, if I had $2,000 to spend on a card, and this were one of them, I would love to have this card. Just thought this was cool. This is a mid 1920s wooden exhibits card machine with two little signed cards showing. Sotheby's offered this item in their April 1984 important baseball cards and sports memorabilia auctions. Novelty card vendor. Neat. All right, Will Stern from Collect shares this sales chart of Serena Williams rookie in a PSA 10. I have this card in a PSA 9, but the all-time high was $2,950. Average $155. Last sold $50. And you can see it was low, 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 and then it shot up. And then it went to $3,000, and now it's back to basically where it was before. And this is just a lesson. Look at the pop reports. This is crazy. This was the peak pandemic. Scott Stuber again, slight miscut on this Billy Ripken, and it's not even the FF error; it's the black box covering it. But they got Billy Ripken to sign it. Thought that was neat. And then Neo, the most HGA thing ever. Hybrid grading approach, HGA. I don't even know if they're still in business, but they were hacked. And now they have a fake Elon Musk selling cryptocurrency through their Instagram. I don't know if this is still up, but I just thought this was funny. All right, remember, pennysleever.com, my code JWH. Also, sign up for my newsletter if you're not already. Not code, johnquackshero.com. Newsletter's free. Make sure you're signed up. I don't think I have any cards that are upside down behind me today. I forgot to look before I sat down, but I think we're good. My wife didn't get me this time. All right, I'm going to have breakfast and I'm going to go out and stain my house some more and then watch some football this afternoon. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. Thanks for watching.